It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Oh, hello, you beautiful people. Yes, welcome back to it, your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso. Now, welcome back to another installment of the Culinary Hotline Bling. Sing, sing. Oh, yes, oh, yes. Well, we still can't believe that we are officially in 2021. Yes, goodbye 2020. And we're joined by one of our favorite foodies, Chef Clem, to help you and I out. He's going to be answering any of our culinary conundrums. And I know it can be quite tricky in the kitchen. Sometimes you need a bit of help. So do you have any questions for Chef Clem on all things in the kitchen? Well, give us a call right now. The number is 021 110 5552. Okay, so, they didn't waste time. They're calling. Hang on, Clem. See, Pedro and Associates Culinary Experts. How may I help you?
I like it.
Good morning.
Hi there, good morning. Who's calling and where are you calling from?
This is Nicole. I'm Jane from Durban. I have a culinary question for Clem.
Okay,
you can
Jane
help
in
me out,
Durban.
please.
What's your question for Clem?
So I have a lot of bread in my freezer. I hate throwing bread away, and I feel like it's such a waste, but I don't know what to do with all of it. So I wanted to know if you could give me a few tips and ideas for what I can do with my bread.
Very good question. Jane, thank you very much. Please listen on the television. Chef Clem, culinary expert. What's your answer?
So, the beginning of lockdown,
Let's put this away.
we were all baking. Sourdough bread, normal yeast bread. But then we had leftover bread, and what happened to it? It probably went off, right?
Yeah, and if you live in Durban and it's so hot and humid
Yeah.
there, it will go off in an hour after you've baked.
You're
okay,
right.
maybe not an hour, but you
I'm
know
just
what
gonna
I
say, you're right. So,
Yeah.
what I love doing is creating breadcrumbs out of bread that's like either a day old or 2 days old.
Okay.
The bread that is nice and stale and hard, that you chew. That's the bread that you want for breadcrumbs.
Okay.
So, it's a very, very simple recipe. You take it like, ciabatta is a good example because it's got so much flavor.
Yes.
And the thing is about ciabatta is like a day and a half later, it is like...
Hard. Well, if you struck someone with it, I mean, you would literally face life
I
sentence.
think it says somewhere in the Bible that like, you're done.
Yeah, I mean, that's the
Don't
thing.
do that.
No, you don't.
Okay, so what I did was I tore it into chunks.
Okay.
And I like tearing bread for breadcrumbs because if you slice it, you get very uniform crumbs or very uniform shape, and I don't like doing that.
You're
so I
gonna
just tore the bread.
Yeah.
And then the thing is, if the bread is still a bit like moist and it still has a bit of like softness to it, you can toast it in the oven. At like 120, just for about 20 minutes until you dry the bread out.
So you're actually trying to dry it, get it as dry as possible.
Absolutely.
Okay,
You
cool.
don't necessarily have to get it brown. I mean, if you get it a little brown, that's nice because you get a little extra flavor, but we're all going to toast it just now again.
Okay.
This is what you're looking for. Not a lot of color, but it is, again, like...
I love it.
That's
it's
in hard.
Jane, breadcrumbs.
Jane.
Breadcrumbs.
Jane almost changed her name. She was like, my name is... no, my name is Jane.
You know, sometimes people are a little bit shy about their kitchen conundrums, and
Yes.
sometimes it's easy to just use like a fake name
Use a fake name.
so that people don't know you.
Be creative. Don't say anonymous is calling.
Yeah,
This
just
is
like-
the opportunity to make up your new name.
Hi, my name is-
Who would you be? Who would you be?
Hi, my name is Tabiso.
Okay, I like it. Okay.
We've got another question. This one came through on Facebook. In fact, let's take a look at this question. It came through from Debbie Mitchells, who says, please help Clem. Oh, man, the desperation. I
Wow.
love it. I can't make fricadelles. My 25-year-old daughter doesn't want, or rather doesn't always have time to make for me. Oh, man. Okay, we are intervening. Chef
So,
Clem.
I'm going to help you out here, but like, again, I'm going to meet you halfway.
Okay.
Because I've got these breadcrumbs, I think it'd be a really good idea to make meatballs. Fricadelles, the only thing I would change then is I would add some coriander, maybe add some garam masala to it, just mix it up a little bit. I like a spicier fricadelle.
Yeah.
So this is going to be like a traditional meatball style, but you can just totally make it your own. Is that okay? Is that
Debbie, this sounds fantastic. And please, if you are going to try what Clem is saying, please do send it to us on Facebook, Expresso Morning Show, SABC3. I'm very keen to know the different variations that people are able to play with when making fricadelles, because really what you're saying is you can make it your own and add a bit of a twist as well. And yes, if your daughter doesn't have the time, Debbie, to make for you sometimes, sometimes it gets busy.
We're gonna help you out.
Maybe surprise her and make her your own twist, courtesy of Chef Clem's advice. This is very, very nice. I love that. Okay, so what are you doing with the breadcrumbs?
Very quickly, let me just show you how to take your breadcrumbs. So what we did, we took this, we blitzed it up, we got those breadcrumbs, just put it in the pan now, a little bit of olive oil, and a little bit of garlic. This is how you take your normal breadcrumbs and you step it up and you make them extra flavorful. So what we're doing is we're cooking our garlic and we're toasting our breadcrumbs. So it's gonna absorb all the flavor of the garlic and the olive oil. You could add butter to the pan as well.
Okay.
You know, butter and bread. I mean...
A match made in all of life.
all of life.
Yeah.
So what you're doing now is you want to toast your breadcrumbs. And the good way to tell that it's toasted is that when you smell it. Use all your senses when you're busy cooking. So
The nice thing is if you're adding that garlic, already you've got such a really wholesome smell coming through. But when you smell that nicely toasted, matched with the garlic, ooh, you know it's ready to eat.
So good. So one thing for me is, we know a pasta dish, we normally finish them with Parmesan, right?
Yes.
But if you've been enjoying the festive season a little too much, maybe you don't have money for a wedge of Parmesan. This is an amazing alternative to Parmesan on the top of your pasta. You make a pasta dish, you sprinkle this over the top, you're going to be so happy.
I love that.
I'm happy with this. Things are smelling really good now. My garlic's cooked, my bread's nice and toasted. Now I'm going to use this to make some meatballs.
Wow.
And I also like using breadcrumbs for fricadelles, and it does two things. Number one, it bulks up your mince.
So it's
500
bigger.
grams. Yeah, 500 grams of mince now it becomes like so much more, and you're feeding more people.
Or
which is absolutely
yes,
love.
absolutely. And you can, because people are going to ask for seconds, and that's a fact. We know that people are going to ask for seconds. So now you can actually offer them that without feeling like, oh, you're finishing everything. If you've got any questions for Chef Clem, please, I love this segment. I love that we're able to do this for people. It's so inspiring, and especially at the start of a brand new year where you really just want to do things differently. Everyone's excited about the renewed energy of anything, even in the kitchen.
Because our kitchen's very real, right? I'm going to call someone offset. It's okay, it pretend never happened. Kelly, can I please get some salt? Kelly's running. Kelly's sprinting.
Salt
Boom!
is
She's
coming.
gone. She's like, Usain Bolt, who? Wow, she's
Kelly
gone.
runs.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what I've got is I've got my mince. I do that. I've got some onions and I caramelized them. That's going to add flavor and it's going to keep it nice and moist.
Okay.
Then a little bit of chili flakes just to make it like nice and delicious.
You and I get along so well, especially when it comes to chili.
Okay.
Yeah, like we love chili.
I love chili. And it's not just the heat that it brings through, it also brings through flavor, you taste more. True fact.
Yeah.
Today we know it's going to be super, super, super hot, right?
Yeah.
Eat chili, it cools your body down. You would think the other way around.
Yeah, but I mean, please, you have to think about it a little bit more than, you know, what Clem is saying. You don't just go and take a chili and you throw it in your mouth.
No.
Not like that, because then it's not going to cool you down.
Then it's not going to cool you down. Okay, so a little bit of milk.
Yeah.
This is optional. I just find I could give you a nice texture meatball. A little bit of milk into our toasted breadcrumbs. Oh, by the way, before we added the milk, if you take those breadcrumbs and put them in the jar, they will live in the fridge for months.
Well, this is beautiful.
Thank
this
you.
This is really, really beautiful. Nicole Jane in Durban.
Nicole Jane?
All the answers are flowing through. I love it.
Okay, so, but just smell that, though. It smells so good. So this is going to go into our mince mixture. And again, like I said, it's an add flavor, add texture. It's going to be a softer meatball because we added that breadcrumb in there.
There is so much moistness that's
And
taking
it's going to
place there.
retain that
And it's
moisture.
going to keep it. I love that.
So make sure, the one thing people do when they cook with any mince, they don't add enough salt. There's a lot of meat in there. And we always say with a steak, you season well. All that mince is just ground up steak.
And you know what the challenge is with meatballs is that unlike if you were having like a piece of chicken or like a steak where it's easy to sort of salt if it wasn't salted properly, meatballs are a bit tricky because now
when it's done, it's done.
It's, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So that's a good tip.
So then okay, let me make it a little smaller. When you make it a little smaller, it's going to cook quicker. Just remember that.
Cool.
So if you're making like tennis ball size meatballs, don't be surprised
when they come out looking like
like raw, crispy on the outside, raw on the inside. You're going to have a combination of dry and wet at the same time.
Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. Well, listen, they're going to go in there, and of course, that's the whole magic that's coming through there. The end product would look like this.
What I do is, because I'm saving time now, it's January, I get the Willie's pasta sauce. That's so delicious. Once my meatballs are nice and brown, I pour the sauce over, cook some pasta. I always serve my spaghetti and sauce over my pasta, and that's it.
My appetite is buzzing. And listen, Chef Clem is here to answer all of your questions. So if you do have any culinary conundrums, any challenges in the kitchen for Chef Clem to sort of respond to come and intervene, give us a call. This phone is here on standby for us to answer. The number is 021 110 5552. See after this, so nice, man.